Greetings, Earthlings! It is I, Chelsea Rose, also known as Lucid Rose. And let's go on a mural tour. What do you think? It's a beautiful day in Portland, Oregon. It's really feeling very fall-y vibes. We've got lots of Pacific Northwest vibes going on today with the mist and the gray and the rain. And I love that. That's when I want to go out and explore. Everything is just so gorgeous with a little coating of rain. Everything is almost like a shellac. All the colors pop. And what's also great about this is there will be no harsh sunlight, which means I can take you on a tour of my murals, and said murals will not be obstructed or changed by harsh, direct, spotted sunlight shenanigans. So that'll be fun. You may know I do a lot of acrylic painting on canvas. I also do a lot of watercolor painting. I do some painting with tea, but one of my favorite all-time mediums is spray paint on big old walls. So I think it'll be cool to just kind of have you come around with me, check out my home base of Portland, Oregon, and some of the murals of mine that are still existing today. So this will be a non-exhaustive list because we will be constrained time-wise. I'm getting kind of a late start, but definitely some of my favorite pieces around town I want to show you. These are all going to be spray paint on walls. And due to the transitory nature of street art or urban art, I don't know what we'll find. You know, they might be there, they might be dissed, somebody might have gone over them, or maybe they're still there. So it's been a while since I've checked on all my little spots, so it will be wonderful to have you along for the journey. So come hither into the mists, into the rain with me to go check out some art in Portland, Oregon. So for our first leg of the journey, we are going to leave our cozy little art cave out in Northwest Hills over by Forest Park. We're usually going to drive through Forest Park and then arrive into downtown Portland, where we will wiggle our way over to the area of the Southwest Portland. Our first destination is the International School, and we painted here back in 2018. And there was a lot of people involved. I mean, look at the size of this wall that we got to take over. This was one of the first projects that I did with For the Love, which is going to be one you hear often. Phil, my buddy, awesome, amazing artist, and just local community builder. He puts a lot of these walls together, and I'm lucky to be on his short list of people to involve. So I get a lot of wall space from that. And this was really cool. This was across the street from what is called the International School, and it's basically a big retaining wall. And the people who are painting surrounding me would be All the Veg, the little carrots, and Kango and Plastic Birdie. I believe those are the artists that are directly surrounding my area. Yeah, just typical stuff that you'd probably see in one of my sketchbook tours, but just made really big in, this exciting medium, which is spray paint, which is such a different thing to utilize. And it's taken me quite some time to figure it out and really find my rhythm and style, and now I can't get enough of it. And then not too far from the International School, we're going to cruise up to the Hop Sauce headquarters, which is also a recording studio. and this is another For the Love building project. We've painted this building probably, I think this would be the 4th time, and it's usually a really fun community event, and we're all hanging out and we're just all painting this huge building in a day, and there's usually 10 to 20 artists hitting this one building, making sure it's fully, completely painted. It's one of the highlights usually of the early summer. The newest iteration of For the Love on this building was from 2021. Yeah, so this one I got to paint with Campo Graphic was above me. And so it's always cool when you are working next to somebody who wants to kind of connect or interact your pieces. And so Campo decided to do this sort of kind of drip into one of the teacups that I had painted. And I had a lot of fun exploring kind of this Van Gogh Starry Night style background texture. Or this concept that I painted is literally ripped right out of my sketchbook, and you'll find that if you've watched a lot of my sketchbook tours, you might find some of my murals that you're about to see very familiar because you've seen it already in pen and ink form. The other thing you might notice is sometimes walls have their own specific challenges. In this case, this one does have kind of like a texture. It's got these overlapping siding lips, and so that's always interesting to see. You have to kind of battle with the way that you're laying down your paint, the way you move your hand, how far you're away from the wall when you're working on different textured walls. So it's just another part of the challenge. So from this point over in Southwest Portland, we're going to take a trip across the bridge, across the Willamette River, to check out at least, I believe, 4 walls in the Southeast Portland area. And we're going to start with Taylor Electric. It was super cold when I painted this back in December 1st, I believe, of 2019. Like literally freezing. Snow starting to come down. It was cold, and especially doubly so cold in painting in this little garage, this cement fort underneath this big building. But yeah, it was kind of just as usual, kind of a smush together of 2 different concepts from my sketchbook, and married the 2 onto the wall. And it was especially interesting and challenging again on this wall. This has these yellow concrete parking safety barrier thingies right in front of the wall, as well as pipes and all sorts of things kind of pulling in through the mural. And so I tried to integrate those, and it was interesting to try and paint some of those swoopy lines over the piping, but it was fun. It was cool. It's a challenge, and I got it done, and it still stands to this day. It's become a spot where people will take pictures in their fancy cars, or just even in cosplay outfits, or just whatever, and I'll randomly get tagged into a photo where they're standing in front of this mural. I always love those. Always makes my day. But yeah. Okay, so now we're going to swing just around the corner, basically, over to OMSI, the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry. And then just across from there, and in between OMSI and the train station, are these old train cars. I got to paint one of the train cars with 2 other female street artists, and it's just around on the back side of these trains. In the train yard area, you'll see the Starlight Express go through, you'll see freight go through, so it's just it was a really cool spot to paint. I painted next to Fade. They were on the left, and Bad. Got to paint with Bad on the right, and then at the far end On the far left was Amanda Valdez, and we kind of did some collaboration together with our murals. I did some eyeballs in her flowers, and then she came over and did that one flower on the top, and I put an eyeball in there. So that was kind of cool. It's always interesting to work with people who want to collaborate and integrate. I had worked with Amanda Valdez before, and we're buddies, and so I was super excited that she was in town and we were getting to do this project together. And it was amazing to meet Fade and Bad for the first time and work with them, and I hope that we get to work together again sometime on collaborating on a mural. So for our last spot over here in Southeast, before we head over to Northeast, is the Social Justice Center, which I painted this year, spring of this year, with Notes and Arise. And this was actually a mural that we got a grant for. Notes and the Social Justice Center had applied together to RAC, Regional Arts Council, to get a grant to paint this Social Justice Community Center building. And Notes had come to me already with this idea, and several artists picked out to actualize it, and basically showcase masks of different cultures and ethnicities, or just representations of self. And then also have this Pacific Northwest vibe with trees and mist and all of the deliciousness of our state. So we all came together, we collaborated, we worked together on the concept, and then Notes and the Social Justice Center secured our grant, and then we got all of our paint supplies, got all of our money, we all came together and painted this in a couple days. And our final stop is in Northeast Portland on one of my favorite streets, Alberta Street. It's where a lot of my connections in the Portland art community were made, friendships forged during the, last Thursday Art Walk on Alberta Street, where I was vending my art when I first moved to town and met a lot of the street artists in the art community. And so on this street, we did a mural for Chaba Thai. It's on the side of the Chaba Thai building, kind of in the alleyway. And there were, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 or 8 different artists who worked on this wall. Just around me to the upper left was Matt Schloshky, and then Rupizi and Calm all worked together onto my right, and we kind of integrated a little bit with the palm trees were done by Rupizi, kind of integrating into their piece. But it was a grand old time, and it was raining buckets, and I painted most of that mural half hanging off a ladder, half holding a umbrella, and also managing to paint with a spray can at the same time. So, what did you think? Did you have a good time? Good romp around downtown with me? I hope you enjoyed, and let me know which of those was your favorite, which mural painting was your favorite. And I'll do another one of these soon. I think it was really fun. And I'd like to maybe highlight some of the other amazing murals around town that don't have anything to do with me. One of my favorite things about Portland is the street art, and we have a lot. And we also have a really cool community. So lots of people that I would love to introduce you to next time on our mural street art tour around Portland. But until then, thank you so much for hanging out and taking this trek along with me. And don't forget to subscribe and like and comment and notification-y thingamajiggers. And you can catch me on the Elsewheres You can check me out on Instagram, is where I post most of the time. Instagram, my handle is Lucid Rose. And otherwise, just check out my website, chelsearosearts.com. It has all my links and, a link to my shop. If you are curious about collecting something and you don't see it in my shop, please send me a message through my website or a DM on Instagram and we can work it out. So anywho, much love, thanks so much, and have a lovely evening or afternoon or day or whatever. Pinkies up. Bye.